Welcome once again to the City of Maple Grove Report. I'm Dave Kaiser from CCX Media. Thanks for joining us, along with Heidi Nelson, Maple Grove City Administrator. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
Papers are ready to talk about the meeting on April 15th. Also a lot happening in the city. We'll get to that as well. The meeting itself about 27 minutes long.
Yeah.
And a record number of items pulled from consent. So I'm going to hand it to you, Heidi. Take us through consent and some of the special items that some of the council members wanted to make sure were noted.
Yeah, so we had a number of items that were, kind of real good positive things on our consent agenda, acknowledging them, and so the council wanted to take a moment to kind of point those out. Councilmember Hansen had pulled, there was a number of donations that were made to the police department just in support of the work that our law enforcement officers do every day in the community. So this action was to accept those donations. We have to do that officially through a council action, but also recognize Scott and Mary Mason, Joseph and Lisa Trainer, Denise Larson, and Lenore Dickinson for their contributions and support of law enforcement here in Maple Grove, and those dollars will be put to good use in support of our officers. Same also for the fire department. There was donation made by Scott and Mary Mason for support of the smoke alarm program and the student fire education outreach programs with the city of Maple Grove. So that helps to support those very important programs that our fire department does. Another important piece coming up here for the fire department that was pulled by Councilmember Hansen is Light the Night for Fallen Firefighters. And so every year there is a week dedicated to fallen firefighters here in the state of Minnesota. And this year it'll be May 1st to May 5th. Light the Night for Fallen Firefighters in memory of Maple Grove firefighter Mike Piter, who died of cancer, which was deemed an in the line of duty death in 2000. When did Mike? Oh, it's not in here. It's been a few years now since Mike passed away. A couple years. Right. 2020, I believe. I think it was in 2019. So this will be recognition for that during that week of May 1st to May 5th. And then Councilmember Barnett acknowledged an item about My Ride. So this is an important piece of work that we're doing on the transit front to expand some service hours and add a couple vehicles to the My Ride service, which is kind of that local transit service here in town. We have a broader geographic area than just Maple Grove, but we continue to see the demand for that local service expand, and so this provides more hours and a couple more vehicles to expand capacity. So if folks are interested, take a look at the website. Just Google My Ride Maple Grove, and that'll come up right up for you, and you can take a look at the schedules and the areas that we serve. A couple of upcoming events here. We had the Arbor Day event is coming up here in a couple weeks, April 27th. That event is being held at the Community Center. It is running from noon to 3, I believe. I'm going to turn my page here and get to the right page. All right, noon to 3 at the Community Center, Saturday, April 27th. The Arbor Committee puts on this event. Just a great event every year. Lots of gardening things there, tree health, those types of resources available to residents at that Arbor Day event. Again, Saturday, April 27th from noon to 3, and that event is free. So all are invited to attend that. So this was proclaiming Arbor Day in the city of Maple Grove. Somewhat related to that is we had the hiring of a new city forester on the agenda. That was an initiative that was certainly supported by the Arbor Committee, and I think had been in front of the council for a number of years. And I think the recent uptick in our issues with emerald ash borer and the loss of trees there kind of pushed that one over the end zone there to get that one hired to help us in that initiative. So that position will be starting here in the next couple of weeks. And then the last item that was recognized, we had the transfer of funds and the agreement associated with the arena project, phase 1 of the community center, that third sheet of ice, and Osseo Maple Grove Hockey Association contribution to that, just over $4 million that they're going to be bringing to that project over a 20-year period. So Mayor wanted to acknowledge that work. So lots of things to recognize here in this consent agenda. In addition, the Mayor offered to recognize Amy Dietl, our city clerk, for receiving her Master Municipal Clerk designation at a conference earlier this spring, and very important honor for Amy and acknowledgement of her work here. She is a very well-respected respected and wonderful city clerk that we have on our team. Runs amazing elections and just really keeps everything in order at the city. And so only 30 city clerks throughout the state of Minnesota have this designation, so it's very important. She was recognized in the Osseo Maple Grove Press as well recently, so nice recognition for Amy, and appreciate the mayor bringing that up to recognize her work.
Congratulations to Amy. Move on to the one public hearing from the council meeting on April 15th, and that was the Rush Hollow North project. We've talked about this a few times. Remind us where that is and what the action was.
Yeah, so this is just north of the current Rush Hollow project, which is right along 81 Fernbrook area. So this is a kind of a rectangular parcel that just sits to the north of that. So kind of adding on to that Rush Hollow development there. So this one's brought forward by M&I Homes. So this was to provide for the infrastructure, sewer, water, streets, that type of thing. And so we'll likely see activity on this site coming up this summer as well.
To community and economic development items that were touched on at the meeting, some updates here. The first is an event that's happening Thursday at Central Park related to Experience Maple Grove, and this is an event more for some of the businesses and vendors in town. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Experience Maple Grove is our destination management organization here in Maple Grove. It's funded from the hotel tax when you stay in a hotel in Maple Grove, and their role is really to promote travel and business in Maple Grove, retail activity, restaurants, those types of things, bring events to Maple Grove. And so they're hosting an event there at Central Park, really for the business community to kind of talk about the plans for Experience Maple Grove for the year ahead, and unveil kind of some new marketing initiatives for coming up here in the summer months.
Very nice. We'll keep an eye on that. One new business having a grand opening, a fun name here, Best Brains Learning Center coming to town.
Yeah, so this is a ribbon cutting that's happening later this afternoon. They specialize in teaching kids 3 to 14 in several areas, including math and English. And then Best Brains is located in Homestead Corner at the intersection of Weaver Lake Road and Elm Creek Boulevard. They're just kind of in the mall that's now anchored by Dunkin' Donuts there on the corner.
Very good. Planning Commission coming up. A couple items on their agenda that we've talked about in the past, now moving through their process.
Yeah, so we, and I mentioned this last time that it was going to be coming to Planning Commission. It got delayed, so Planning Commission didn't happen last week, but now planned for April 29th. It would be Arbor Lakes Business Park, building number 9, so that's kind of that last building there right up along 94. So hopefully that'll come through on the concept phase. And then the Maple Grove Community Center PUD. We are going to be changing some lot lines over there, and with the addition of the arena needs to come through a PUD process just like any other development, so that'll be in front of the Planning Commission. And then they have a residential variance also that the Planning Commission will view on April 29th.
Public Works Engineering, one update, and you're going to keep this in mind if you travel 169, a few changes happening there with the bridge, and also if you're driving this very weekend, the road's going to be closed.
Yeah, so this is the 63rd Avenue Bridge closure.
Right.
If you travel 169, you can kind of know MnDOT's been kind of moving through some of those interchanges there. Rockford Road was last season when they got that one replaced, and so this is kind of next on their list, 63rd Avenue, to improve lighting, signage, and drainage, and then replace that interchange there. So as you mentioned, the road will be closed over this weekend. I believe it was Friday at 10 p.m. till Monday at 5 a.m. and so they'll be taking that bridge out of there. And then that bridge would be out until October, so they'd be working on that through the summer months here to get that bridge replaced. But just want to encourage people, we have some businesses located there on the west side of 169. You can access them off of Magda, coming down like 73rd in that area on the west side of 169. You know, some convenience-based businesses that I think will struggle a little bit more. Some are more destination oriented, and so they'll probably do okay, but just really encourage folks to support those businesses during this period of construction.
Last item on the meeting on the 15th was your update, and you were talking about something that's happening tonight as we're recording this on the Tuesday. You've got the Board of Appeal. Yeah,
so this is the time of year that you as a resident or a business owner have the opportunity to appeal your market valuation for your property in Maple Grove. you would have received your valuation statement in the mail from Hennepin County earlier this spring. Meeting tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll reconvene on May 2nd. Tonight is the night to kind of present that appeal. Even if you don't get to tonight, we'll still hear you on May 2nd for that appeal. And there's always the opportunity, once you've come through the Maple Grove process, if you're not satisfied with that outcome, you can always go on to Hennepin County for their Board of Appeal as well. Pretty light year. We only have 4 petitioners as of this time. Not a lot of change in property values this year. Maybe some anomalies where we had, a really strong sale in a neighborhood or good improvements done to a property, that kind of thing. But in general, pretty flat year in terms of property valuation. So we'll see how tonight, goes and who shows up. But April 16th tonight, while we're taping this in just a few hours, and then also, our assessing staff is always there to help. So give a call up to the assessor's office to talk with them, and then, that May 2nd is that reconvene meeting, and then going on to the county in June. So lots of information available on the website about the Board of Appeal process as well.
MapleGroveMN.gov. You can find out more there. We'll keep you up to date on that process. Final note to pass along is the legislature still in session. What is Maple Grove looking at? And I understand there's more visits to the capital plan. Yeah,
we'll be down there tomorrow morning. So we are still in the process of hearings for our tax increment financing gravel mining area district. So we're looking for some amendments to that special legislation. Give us a little bit more time to complete development out there. We've been able to utilize this economic development tool for much of the development that's occurred out there, and so lots of land left to go there, about 60 acres north of the Boston Scientific project that we'd like to have some flexibility to pursue that over the next 5 to 7 years. So these amendments give us that additional time and flexibility. We were grateful to be included into the House Omnibus Tax Bill with that special legislation amendments, and so that's great. We're very appreciative to Representative Bonner, Representative Carroll, and Representative Robbins for their advocacy and work on behalf of the city to get that into that omnibus bill. So tomorrow morning we'll be in front of the Senate Tax Committee for them hearing these TIF amendments. There's a number of cities that'll be in front of the Senate Tax Committee in the morning. So we'll see how that Senate hearing goes tomorrow, and then we'll look for that coming through towards the end of the session with the tax bill.
All right, we'll keep an eye on the session as it moves along. So that's it for the meeting on the 15th. Again, about a half hour in length. Now to some things happening around the city, and here's a great way for you to find out what's happening in the city, maybe a look back at last year, but also a broader look ahead. And this is the State of the City video that's out now.
Yeah, so this was a great thing. We partnered, of course, with CCX Media on. They do you guys do such a great job putting these videos together for us. So great message from Mayor Mark Stephenson. And then we had representatives from the park, Chuck Stifter from Parks and Recreation, Greg Ansels with Experience Maple Grove, Erin Walter with she's a real estate agent here with the Jane Schmidt Group, and she talked about the real estate market. And then Joe Bergman from Endeavor, which is involved with the Arbor Lakes Business Park, about continued investment here in our industrial sector. So lots of great information available on the video. Really great piece, lots of great imagery of Maple Grove. It can be viewed on our city website. We have posted it on our social media. I think it's running on channel 16 still. And then of course available on YouTube as well. So this is an annual process that we go through to kind of put together a summary of what's happened in the past year and what we're looking forward to in 2024.
Good, yeah, just search for Maple Grove State of the City and you will find that. Other things happening around town. It is springtime and a lot of spring projects going on. What do the city departments try to do at this time of the year to clean things up?
Yeah, so street sweeping and hydrant flushing are underway. Staff works to ensure that streets are swept prior to hydrant flushing. We want to clean those up before we send a lot of water down the drains. Additionally, docks have been installed at Weaver Lake, Boundary Creek, and Morden Park. So that's a little earlier than we normally are out doing that. And then tennis and pickleball nets have been installed for the season, again, earlier than what we normally would. And staff is making sure that everything is in working order at those various sport courts. So lots of opportunity once we get through this rain here to get back outside and enjoy all the things that the the Park and Recreation Board does.
Yeah, things are greening up out there. Let's go to Lakeview Knowles Park. Again, some construction happening there at a place you might want to stop in this summer.
Yeah, so construction has started on the picnic shelter. I've driven by a couple times this week, and I think it's almost complete that they have that up. And so that'll be followed by restrooms, hardscapes, and shade structure there. And then they're going to be getting ready to paint those pickleball courts here. And so we're hoping that the pickleball courts should be ready for play in early May.
Nice.
So this will be a nice addition for this summer.
That'll be a hopping place, as will this next place, the community garden. We've talked about that a few times. Again, remind us what that is, and it's about time to plant.
Yeah, so it's a new community garden location at Donahue North Park. Residents should be able to start gardening at their plots by May 1. And we did go through a lottery process over the winter months to, get designated for one of these gardening plots. So the folks that have been selected know who they are, and they're ready to move forward this summer. And so this is kind of a pilot project for the park board, and kind of looking at how this went and if there's opportunity or interest in doing more community gardens throughout the community. So we'll see how this summer goes, and then the park board will look at that over the winter months.
Speaking of winter, one of the winter programs having their last hurrah here as they wrap things up, and that's the ice skaters in town. Big show coming up.
Always a great time of year for the Maple Grove Skating Schools. So 100 participants this year in the 24th annual skating show put on by the Maple Grove Skating School, and so that's on Saturday, April 20th. There's a show at 1 p.m. and then a show at 6 p.m. and that's at the community center, and there are tickets that are required for that, and tickets are available at the door.
Great. Hope you can get out and enjoy that. From ice skating, we go to Farmers Market. Farmers Market moves along, getting ready to go outdoors, but we've got the final inside coming up this week.
Yeah, so Thursday, April 18th, so in a couple days here. Final indoor farmers market hours are 3 to 6 p.m. inside the community center. The outdoor market season is only a few weeks away. Opening day will be Thursday, May 9th from 3 to 7 p.m. And then just a reminder, we're relocating this year because of the construction that'll be going on later this summer at the community center. And that will be in the parking lot at Church of the Open Door in Maple Grove. So we'll be putting out more information and signage about that, but just a reminder that that outdoor market is shifting its location this year.
Yep. All right, more spring activities to talk about. If you've got a lot of stuff in your garage that you're wondering where to come from and how can I get rid of it, the city can help them out.
Yeah, so cleanup days coming up here. Two options to get rid of unwanted items such as old appliances, tires, scrap metal. The curbside pickup is on Monday, May 13th. Items need to be placed at the curb by 7 a.m. This does require pre-registration, and if there's a fee associated with anything, it'll be picked up. That needs to be prepaid with the city's engineering department by May 9th. Lots of information available on the city's website about that. And then the drop-off day is Saturday, May 18th, and drop-off items from 8 to noon at the Maple Grove Public Works facility that's on Forest View Lane, and then any payment that's required can be made the day of the event. Good. And again, lots of information on the city website about the accepted materials and any fees associated with that.
If you've been raking your lawn like everyone else, you've got some stuff that needs to be taken care of, and the Yardway Site is ready to receive it.
Yeah, so the Yardway Site opened April 1. Lots of information available on mgyardwaste.com for the hours and the items that are accepted. Just know to bring your Maple Grove, your ID, your driver's license to show Maple Grove residency, and then that, of course, is free for your use. And that's located just off of 610 and Maple Grove Parkway.
Another partner getting ready to help out in Maple Grove as the season is coming for mosquitoes, and the crew is about ready to go out and help us out a little bit. So Mosquito Control District is out working, getting those pellets down in water, those types of things. So you might see mosquito control trucks, helicopters, or staff, and they would have identifiable apparel on, identifying themselves to be with the Metropolitan Mosquito Control District, oftentimes out in neighborhoods and parks where you might have bodies of water. So warmer weather expected in the coming weeks, and we've already seen a few mosquitoes out there. So I know, they're already out there. So just know that that work is going to be going on in neighborhoods in the coming weeks. Watch for them coming. Let's talk about job openings in the city of Maple Grove. This is the time of the year we try to mention that. We've been talking about it for a while, but still some opportunities to get a great job at the city. Yeah,
so we have a number of seasonal positions in Public Works and Parks and Recreation that are still open for the summer. Some of them are indoor, outdoor, whatever you might be looking for, full-time, part-time. Lots of information available on our city website, and real easy to apply online there as well.
One last note to pass along, date for your calendar, Saturday, May 18th, Tales and Ales. Great name. What is it all about again?
Yeah, so this is at Central Park, Saturday, May 18th from 2 to 7. The event includes a pet vendor show, adoptable animals, live music and food trucks, lawn games, and lots of activities for both humans and pets. So great day at Central Park, Saturday, May 18th from 2 to 7.
All right, get that on your calendar. And again, if you need more information about some of those, we're going to give you the website in just a second. Heidi, thanks for your time again today. Look forward to see you again in a couple weeks. Here is that information. Next council meeting, which we'll have the report shortly after that, is on Monday, May 6th, 7:30 at the Government Center. Bottom left of the screen, the website once again, maplegrovemn.gov. Find out all the things that are happening in the city right there. For Heidi Nelson, I'm Dave Kaiser. Thanks for joining us on the City of Maple Grove Report.